Hi, man.
What's your name?
Dylan.
What's your name,
I'm
ma'am?
Chandrika.
And what's your name?
Suraj.
What do you do?
Ooh, many things, but I'm a rock climber, primarily.
Rock climber.
Yeah.
So can I know exactly what is a rock climber? It's a climbing a rock something.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a sport where you either have like big rock faces,
Okay.
or you have like big boulders, and then you climb them. But then it's not just taking the easiest way, like you try to look for the most difficult and the most creative pathways.
So exactly it will be like in some particular location or it will be like any kind of event or resorts. So where it will be available? Because we don't know.
So like broadly, any place that has rock. Okay, so for example, in Karnataka, you have Hampi, you have
Yes.
Badami, you have Antargange,
Wow.
you have Raugudlu, Avati, places like that, right? And then if you go up north in Himachal Pradesh, you have this area where we've been spending a lot of time. It's this valley called Setan, where we've been exploring and putting up new climbs. You have a place called Raksham. So there's many different areas. Any place that has rock, you can climb.
Oh wow. So exactly how we are gonna climb? Like exactly the bare hands we have some equipment. So can anyone can explain?
Yeah. So the purest form of climbing is bouldering, where you don't use anything except for a mat beneath you, and then you just climb the rock. And it gets more and more complicated as you add ropes, different gear like bolts or permanent fixtures in the rock. Or you use your own gear. You have friends or cams and nuts that you insert into fissures and cracks in the rock, and you use that for your protection. And that way you can climb massive, 4, 5, 600 meter.
So exactly it will be take some days to climb or like some hours. So how long will you go with the climbing? Like is there some certain days or weeks?
Yeah, it could be like just a couple going out for a couple hours with your friends, or it could be going up for like days at a time on a wall.
Days also. So if you said days also, so where do you sleep there or not? Like while you're climbing, you will hang some rope and you will sleep there itself, or you have some particular something?
And you can that's a more advanced form. Usually you'll climb and then you'll come down to camp and you'll sleep in your tent and you'll go climb again. But you can also sleep on what's called the portaledge. You take it up with you, and then on the vertical face you set it up and you sleep on it.
So is it like a tent or a hatch something?
It's a ledge.
Ledge.
So like 1 meter by 2 meters.
Okay, it's something like a rope bridge, something like that. Yeah.
Then there's a tent on top.
Lovely, lovely. So one more stupid question, don't mind.
Those are the best questions.
Lovely, lovely. So if you got a pee, if you want to go to loo, so what do you do when on your climbing? So before only you will go, done everything and you'll get started, or something in the middle came, what do you do?
Yeah, you try to drink some coffee beforehand so it doesn't happen, but if you do, you basically do it in a bag.
A bag, really?
Yeah. You do it in a bag, and then you kind of keep those bags with you.
Oh.
You haul it up as part of your climb and your luggage, and then at the end of your climb, you dispose of it. But the thing I'd like to add over here is, the difficulty of a climb is not just to do with how high it is or how long it is. In bouldering, for example, sometimes the hardest boulders have 3 moves or have 4 moves, but you just spend like years working on 1 move, 2 moves. Sometimes,
Really?
yeah, I've spent like almost 3 years falling off a single move. Single move before I did that problem, right? It's called a boulder problem.
Wow.
And the hardest boulder in the world has pretty much 4 moves. That's it.
Lovely.
So it's like extremely difficult in creative physical movement that's condensed into like smaller sequences. Whereas with big walls and with bigger climbs, it involves logistics, it involves decision making. Okay, you have a feature, like that little tiny crack.
Oh.
What sort of piece of protection can I place over there? You'll have to select that. So you got to get creative. And then you clip your rope in and on you go.
So it's totally like adventure. After listening you, I also want to try some rock climbing. So
You
what
should.
So what do you suggest for a beginner, if somebody who doesn't know what he's doing, and if you're going to start up with that, so what do you do for that?
I think Chandrika should answer this.
Yeah, oh, look at that.
See?
Woo! Alec.
I'll go ready to catch him.
That's called spotting, by the way. I would say visit your local gyms. Like within Bangalore, there are like a lot of climbing gyms that you could like go to. You could like climb for like an hour, rent some shoes, understand like basic movement, and then you'll also meet like a lot of like-minded people who would like to want to go out and like climb on like real rocks. And but getting like a feel on how climbing on artificial rock feels so good. And once you're in there, the progression will naturally follow.
Now, last question. So, what the worst experience have you experienced while climbing on a rock?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I've broken my hand.
Oh, really?
You want to see?
Yeah, sure.
I'll show you. 1 second. Hold on. Give me this. Can you see this?
Oh,
See this? And then on the other side here. So I broke both bones, yeah? This is from a jump. And then I caught the hold. It was a little sweaty because the person who climbed it before didn't really brush it. And so my body took this big swing and then I fell like in a weird scorpion position and my arm snapped. But that's really an extreme. I just had bad luck that day. That's all. But for the most part, it's just tiny ankle twists or finger injuries and stuff. Nothing really, really bad. But I don't know. What's the worst you've had?
For me, the worst was. Thankfully, it turned out okay in the end, but we were climbing a like relatively big wall, and looked like there was this thunderstorm coming, and so we were just like really scared that this thunderstorm was gonna come, and we dropped a piece of gear. And the next day, like the thunderstorm didn't come, but the next day we went up looking for that piece of gear that we dropped. And my friend, who is allergic to peanuts, ate a bar and that wasn't well marked, and he thought it had it didn't have peanuts in it, but it did. And so we were like there rappelling, trying to get down, wondering if whether or not he would be having an allergic reaction. So those like nerve-wracking moments can sometimes be there.
So my question is, if sometime you're climbing, there's a small holes will be there, no? Something snake come up here, some insects, because I'm very allergic to that. So if I see something, I will scare and boom, I will be falling down. So have you experienced something like that?
Yes and no. So it's not like, the thing is, when there's human activity, basically, very rarely are you gonna have a snake just perched into a little crevice and then is waiting for you to be screaming, chalking, brushing the holes, trying, and then it'll come out.
My imagination.
No. But this has happened to a friend I know, and it's happened around Bangalore in Ramnagara.
Whoa.
It's happened where on a long climb, she climbed and then at the ledge there was a snake. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It can. The only thing you can do in such a situation is remain calm and step away. And like if you're on rope, you're safe. You can take a fall and they'll catch you. If you're bouldering, you jump off and you land on the mat. But sometimes you can encounter macrofauna, like a bear. That has kind of happened to me close, where we've heard activity in the forest and the leaves rustle and just a bit of noise. So at that point, you just got to pack up and leave. That's all.
Lovely. So only the rock climbing you do, or you teach to some students or people or any such thing like that?
Well, Chandrika guides, so she should tell you her story.
Yeah, I'm an outdoor educator and I take like students out on like month-long expeditions, but mostly in the US. And we're like a bunch of people here in Bangalore who also like take people out on bouldering, both indoors and outdoors. So a little bit of like both, totally based on like interest and enrollment. So if you definitely want to like go out climbing, there are like a lot of people you can reach out to. I think the first place would be starting at your gyms. So they definitely will connect you to people or like me or somebody like me, and like they can take you outdoors.
Okay, if any of the viewers want to learn it from you guys or something, so where is the way, like anything they can contact or DM with something?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you can contact any of us, find us on Instagram, and then you can get in touch. But I think if you're in Bangalore, the easiest way is there are about 3 really good climbing gyms. Land up at any one of them. And man, one thing I can say about the climbing community is they are super friendly. Like if you land up and you say, hey man, I don't know what to do, what is this, how can I start? There would be people lining up to help you.
Lovely.
They'd help you with getting the right size of climbing shoes, your technique on the wall, how to train, to let you know when you're overtraining and when to stop, when you're doing something wrong, how you can improve upon it. So it's a very friendly mentorship-based community. So if you land up ever on rock in the gym, there's always going to be people ready to help you. This much I can promise.
Lovely. So one more question. So I'm a basically chunky guy. So I'm just asking, in any chunky guys is for easy or any specific for that person, some certain difficulties will be there. Because I'm an overweight, no? Like I'm like 1 or 2.
Yo, I really feel like climbing is for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's this perception, first of all, that, I need a lot of upper body strength. Rubbish. You don't. Climbing is like dancing. Anyone can dance. No one says, but you're like 63 kilos, you're a little too heavy to dance. No, anyone can dance. The same way, anyone can climb and move. As you start climbing, you understand movement and technique, and you just get better at it, and you naturally get fit. So I don't think anyone watching should ever have that as this entry barrier. I'm not fit. I'm too heavy. I'm not tall enough. Rubbish. Anyone can climb. And I don't think you're chunky, man. You look good. What are you talking about?
No, just for the viewers' purpose. Even it was my personal thing. It was my thing. Every time you're telling about rocking, okay, can I climb? If I overweight, if I fall down, something happened to me or something like that.
Nah.
But now all myth is gone away, and I'm confidently I can climb a rock.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Just get out and climb.
So
Give it a try. It could change your life.